How's it going, guys? So we've had a couple streams. They're both kind of called prep streams, but the second one probably should be mining and music. Even though I wasn't mining anything material-wise, I was mining out the basement. So if you guys remember, this was actually over to about right here. I dug all that out back there and dropped it down one level. As you can see, everything's kind of floating. I got to deal with that yet. And we put in a decent looking floor. We still got to deal with the walls because they're kind of crap. But for today, what we are going to do is something I've been needing to do for a while. So I moved the enchanting area out of where it was back here in this corner. And we're going to put this cheap wooden drum right there. And by the way, we're using GregTech books and enchanted books and blank books. All of these are just blanks. These are all material dictionary and hunting guides and manuals, and then these are discs and stuff like that. There's 2 enchanted books in there. And that's pretty much everything I need for a level 30 enchant. I also have a butt ton more books that I'll probably end up putting into those, but don't really care at the moment. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take out that block. We're going to put in a huge wooden pipe, and we're going to put a drain on it. And the reason why we're doing that is if I shift click on here, it's going to take my levels and put them in that pipe. Now, that's not going to do me any good if they're just in the pipe. But what we're actually going to do, we did this on the server and I thought it was a pretty nifty idea, is we're going to then run a pipe out of that, which I have a few huge wooden pipes. I'm too lazy to make more of them. I have rubber pipes, so I don't care. But I figure I'll use up the few I have. And then we're going to run this back here. And I think we should be good doing it right here. Let's see here. So we're going to build a wooden tank. I actually need to put this up a block. And it also needs to be 3 by 3. There we go. So we're going to do this. And for anybody that doesn't know, wooden tanks have changed. They are cheaper now. They're actually made out of lead instead of iron. You can see that the lead rings for the valve and 1 lead plate instead of 2 iron plates now. So way cheaper than what it used to be. That happened when Greg nerfed iron a bit more. Alright, so we're going to put this pipe right here. And the other one is going to be, we're going to put the valve right there. I normally like putting them on the bottom, but for this, we're going to put it on the side, which should be just fine. Hold up. That's where the valve's going. Alright, so we're going to put the valve right there. And if we check it, it's got 982 XP in it. And then we're going to run that into here. Get my butt out of here. Alright, so now we'll connect that there. We'll connect that there. And now, close this all back up. We'll have to fix the rest of the floor here. There we go. And now, if we check that, it has 1200 liquid XP. Tinkle the rest of my levels in there. 2420. And now if we put this tap right there, that'll give me my levels back. I can drop them back in. So as I'm using the enchantment table, if I need more levels, I can just pop it like that, get more out. And if I need to drop them off, I can just squat on the drain and it gets rid of them. Walking over it does nothing, so don't have to worry about that at all. So that'll be my new enchanting area. Not that I use it very much. The only thing I really ever enchant is my armor because I use GregTech tools. But occasionally I need to enchant a little bit of my armor, and I've lost hundreds of levels probably by dying with 40, 30 some levels on me. So this way I've got a way to store them away and I don't have to worry about it. For the walls, we're probably going to do concrete. I'm going to make a concrete setup to do that with. Also wanted to show you guys another thing we did in the live stream is over there where we used to have oil burning, which you can just barely see. There's still a little bit on the surface burning. The geyser is gone. We set up a regular BuildCraft pump over there with 2 redstone engines on it. GregTech pumps work from bottom up, so actually pumping this with a GregTech engine would be a real pain in the butt. So I use BuildCraft since it's a BuildCraft oil spout. We ran out of oil downstairs. You may remember we did a bit of cleanup, but I built us a little oil derrick platform here and sucked up the whole spout. It's still working on the pool there because we actually ran out of solid fuel for our distillation tower, and we're going to work on changing that over to a heat exchanger. But for the heat exchanger I want to use, I need annealed copper. And annealed copper is a bit of a pain in the butt. I'll take you guys and show you. I'm so amazed I haven't broke that boat yet. So annealed copper is here, I'll show you on the heat exchanger. This is the one we're making. Annealed copper melts at 2800, boils at 2835. So we've got 35 degrees between it turning to annealed and burning up completely. So not a whole lot. And I just got done doing the tantalum hafnium carbide, which needs to be up in the 4000s to combine. So I had way too much heat to throw the copper in here. So we're going to do 16 of them. I only need 2. As we're doing this here, which just needs a double copper double annealed copper plate. And then these are regular copper fluid pipes. Just so you guys know, the heat exchangers have to be specific materials: Invar, tungsten, tungsten steel, tantalum hafnium. And then you have your dense versions of them. All of them are 100 or 90% efficient, being the tungsten steel being the 90. So very efficient on the heat that you get from them. They're actually somewhat cheap depending on the material you're using, which, as I said, Invar, tungsten, tungsten steel, tantalum hafnium carbide. They have lead on the corners, the two copper fluid pipes. All of them have either copper or annealed copper double plates. I think the THC is the only one that has to be annealed. Nope, the tungstens do too. So tungsten, tungsten steel, and the THC all have to be annealed. The regular Invar one can be copper. Then your dense ones, same thing, except now it's quadruple plates, large pipes, and reinforced machine casings instead of the regular machine casing. And these are 4 times the output of the regular. So if we went with THC for dense for the THC, it would be 1024. Right now we're just doing 256. All right, we need to pay attention here. 25, 26, 27. Please have turned off. 2806. And that's all we're getting out of there because it has cooled back down. And I will deal with that later. I will actually probably scoop it out of there, or I'll put it on the thermostat, which will turn it off instantly. I really don't like doing annealed copper. There is a way to do it, which we might end up doing, where we can actually use 2 smelters. If we look here, and there it is, smelter. So if you put copper in a smelter, you're going to get molten annealed copper if it is already annealed. But if it is not, then you need to put in molten copper. Let me guess, you're going to be all the way on the other end of this list. There it is. So molten copper makes molten annealed copper. If you do, so I can set up 2 smelters back to back, and I can pour annealed copper that way. And we're going to be getting into a lot more things that are going to need annealed copper, and at that point I'll probably set that up. But for right now, we're going to put together this THC heat exchanger. So we need THC machine casing. We need lead plates. We need to make the double annealed copper. And throw that right there. That goes down there. We need 2 copper fluid pipes, small ones, and then should be the wrench in the center, and we have a 256 HU heat exchanger. Now, what we're going to do for right now, we are going to make this way better later, but for right now, we have these two drums filled with lava, and we're going to go ahead and take this one, and we're going to go hook this up. Now, you cannot turn off a heat exchanger with any kind of controlling mechanism that I have found. If somebody else has figured out how to do it, let me know, but I have not. So what we're going to be doing, the only way I've found to control them is by controlling the input or the output. And I'll be controlling the input using a shutter and a controller. We're going to mess with those later on. Right now, we just want to get this hooked up and running. So we're going to put that right there. We're going to put the heat exchanger there. And you can input through any side, if I'm remembering correctly. Has been a while since I've done this. And you can output through that right there. See how it's got the arrows that look like they're going out? That would be its output. So if I take this empty drum and I put it there, and then do I have a Invar pipe on me? Of all the things I forget the pipe to input the stuff. Let's go get a pipe. We're going to use, as I said, Invar. We're going to see if this small one's going to be enough. I'm hoping so. If not, we'll make a larger one. We'll be able to tell by if the heat exchanger blinks or if the distillation tower turns on and off. And you know what? Hold on a second. I'm a dork. Alright, now that I've ran back inside and got an extra pipe, let's get this hooked up. So we're going to put that right there. We're going to do that, which should be sending the lava in. Input, empty, output, empty. So we're getting none through there. Alright, so we just need to turn this on. There we go. Now you can see it's lit up and going. Input has plenty. Output is going over there. So yes, those pipes are fine. And our distillation tower is moving. So like I said, no way of turning this off. Basically, we will cut this pipe and that will turn it off, but it will not cut off until everything inside of the heat exchanger is used up. That's why I like to use this for the distillation tower, because you're turning something that is uncontrollable power into something that is controllable power, and you're using it for something that needs to run long periods of time. I have tons of oil that need to get ran. It doesn't run that fast. I could hook up a better version of this. I could probably do the this one here that's 1024, because if I remember correctly, that's what the distillation tower can handle. Yep, up to 1024. So if I really needed really fast oil processing, I could use the dense version of this. I could put a second one on here, which would make it run twice as fast. 256 is plenty of speed for me currently. And eventually we will have a tank out here for lava and for the output, which is pahoho, pahoe, however you want to say it, that's what it is. And we will be centrifuging that. So if you look at the pahoho lava here, you can use it in place of different things. Like you can make basalt out of it with water. You can use it to make the reinforced sapphire glass from blue power. But what we're going to be doing is centrifuging it, which will give us a tiny pile of basalt dust, 90% chance at that, and then a 3% chance at copper, tin, lead, gold, and silver nuggets, with different amounts of chances for each one. This used to be iron, but again, Greg nerfed it on us, which kind of sucks. This is 64, so we'll be doing it in a steel centrifuge at 144 ticks per run of it. So we'll be setting that up soon as well. But for right now, we're just going to be running from drum to drum, and that's all we're going to worry about. I'm going to put this other one on when this one runs out. But I just wanted to show you guys the basics of a heat exchanger. And I needed to get my oil stuff running again, which we are doing pretty nice on everything out here. We don't have very much petrol, but everything else we're doing pretty good with. So apparently petrol's the main one we're running off of inside, because remember our metallurgic or our magnetic separator in there is running 24/7 right now, trying to keep up or trying to catch up with all of the sand we've been running up until this point. There's not a whole lot else running, but that is running all the time. And it looks like our crusher is finally done with everything. So we can turn that off. We're down to 700 blocks of sluice sand. And just to show you, for our cobalt, we're up to 231. Again, all of this is coming from that sluice sand. And that's 1, 2, 3.5 stacks. So, not doing too bad with it. Anyways, that is it for today. Like I said, I'm going to set up a thing for making concrete, and we're going to redo the walls downstairs. We could do CF foam too, which might be kind of fun to mess with. We could do concrete with the mixing bowl like we did early on, but I'd rather set up a actual mixer and stuff for it. And we don't have a canning machine currently. We did make the stuff to make one, which we have right down here. That'll probably be our very next video. So we could do that. But I think we're going to go with concrete. We've got tons of stone dust, ash, and limestone stuff we can use. So we'll make that look a little bit better down there. after we get that setup done. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Take it easy, and I'll see you next time.